Gee whiz, Dave. No podcast yesterday. What's going on? Are you falling back into your old ways of how you ran all your businesses? You know, you get something good going, you get it all built up, and all of a sudden you get bored and you get tired and you get lazy and you start cutting your hours and start taking days off. I mean, is that happening in with your podcasts? You got us all strung out. Daily podcasts, daily messages from the wall, and then yesterday, nothing. People, I don't know, that's bad press. Nothing could be further from the truth. No, those are all bad, vicious rumors from the past. None of it is true. Trust me on that. No, there was no podcast yesterday because I was conducting a very important, critically important scientific experiment. In the name of science, it's the only way you can test a theory. And my theory? What's a simple one? Can a person look as bad as they feel? Yeah, I was ambushed. No, I was shanghaied. How appropriate. At the bottom, Peter Pitt. Yeah, the experiment results? Yes, you truly can look as bad as you feel. Okay, moving on. It is Thursday, the 5th of May, 2022. And I am convinced the level of intelligence of my loyal subs to this channel are higher than normal. No doubt in my mind. I'm confident all finished high school. And some, like me, went on to college. And some, unlike me, actually finished college. Wow. I can't even imagine what a bitch that was. Good for you. Willpower, people, you got it. I obviously don't. Yet, with no exceptions, not one, including me, have I met someone who ever learned about a historical event that killed millions of people in the 1930s. And you know what I'm going to say next, don't you? Yeah, you know. Those who refuse to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. I'm talking about the Holodomor people. And the only place we can tell you about that is we got to go over here. I think I mentioned in previous podcasts, but let's hit Wiki again one more time just to remind you. The Holodomor, Holodomor, means to kill by starvation. Also known as the Terror Famine, or the Great Famine, was a famine in the Soviet Ukraine. The Soviet Ukraine, how convenient. From 1932 to 1933, that killed millions of Ukrainians. Well, son of a bitch, where have I heard Ukrainians before? The Holodomor famine was part of the wider Soviet famine of the 1932-33, which affected the major grain-producing areas of the country. Remember what Henry Kissinger said? Control the oil, control the nation. Control the food, control the people. But then his good buddy, his good drinking buddy, Zbigniew Brzezinski stepped in and says, used to be easier to control 1 million people. Today, it's far easier to kill 1 million people. And keep that all in mind, people. So, now back in the day, and I mean way back in the day, in the 80s, and just recently out of the Navy, the federal land banks, the federal intermediate credit banks, the PCAs, what were they, production credit facilities, they had this saying, this motto, and it also turned out to come out on bumper stickers: farming is everybody's bread and butter. You guys remember that back in the day? Now, I am totally convinced most metro dwellers, the city livers, are certain food only comes from stores through some magical osmosis process. When the reality is, food is created and raised by farmers and ranchers. But that's a hard pill to sell these city metro dwellers. Trust me, people, I know city and metro dwellers. Okay, and although I've often said I wouldn't want to be a farmer or rancher today, that doesn't take away from the fact about super critical role they play that involves directly all of us. Yeah, I can't argue with that bumper sticker. Farming is everybody's bread and butter. The only thing I'd add is farming and ranching is everybody's bread, butter, bacon, and eggs. Say just the way you gotta say it, people. All right, so I'm concerned that a good percentage of non-farming, non-ranching, rural people are going the way of our city counterparts. Yeah, it's kind of sad to say. Now, how so, you want to know? They're watching the store shelves, people. They're discussing the supply chain breakdown and fuel costs, and while there's nothing wrong with that, most are missing the fields. It's like the old saying, God damn it, I just love old sayings. People can't see the forest because of the trees. So what am I trying to tell you here? The effing obvious. In a time when this country, hell, when the whole world is experiencing critical food shortages and serious other issues at a time when we need a bumper crop. Here it is, people. The farmers aren't in the fields. Yes, weather delays. Yes, increased costs. But same results. They ain't in the fields doing what they're supposed to be doing. Planting. Desperately need a bumper crop. And I don't see it coming. So anyway, while I'm standing now on the wall. No, wait a minute. No, I'm not standing. Lately, I've been jumping up and down and waving my arms at anyone who can see me and anyone who can hear my voice. I still have time to salute the farmers and ranchers people of our day. No, I sure as hell wouldn't want to be in their shoes. But we are sure goddamn lucky they're willing to do that, what they do. So, I'm going to leave a link to a critically important link to Ice Age Farmers. 22-minute video. Come on, really, people? You don't have 22 minutes of your valuable time. You're not in the fields planting, farmers, ranchers. You're making Mother's Day plans because you're probably going to get in the fields then either. Ain't you got 22 minutes? Let me just play a little bit here. Got a comment to make. It's excellent link.
For it. And in fact, even this channel specifically is now branded Russian disinformation. I'm told that if you try and post my videos to Facebook now, you get this warning that Ice Age Farmer is potentially under the control of the Russian government.
It says the link is from a publisher Facebook believes may be partially or wholly under the editorial control of the goddamn Russians government.
It's fascinating, and I'm waiting for my check. Now, this should just be funny to me, except it also is still relevant given that the US government just created their Board of Disinformation. What that means is that anyone who's deviating from the establishment narrative in any way, even if you're just telling people to grow food, like I am, can now expect to be labeled Russian disinformation and summarily censored from the internet. But that's to be expected. You can't talk about becoming self-sufficient. In times of engineered food shortages, gardening itself becomes an act of rebellion.
Get them gardens in, people. Critically important. I'm still looking for some dirt. Hey, McHale's Navy, AHB, keep me in mind. Give me a holler when you know something. Let me comment on that. Yeah, I think I did a podcast recently about Murray's relative who's heading up the Department of Ministry of Truth, George Orwell's 1984. Scary Poppins, you saw her saying. Now, most people look at that and go, who's going to take this silly bitch serious? And I think therein lies the problem, people. Because they're throwing it in your face. Yeah, we're just coming out with this. Nothing to see here, people. We just needed to expose this chick to, she's got talent. Some bullshit. Get her on a game show. Reality TV show. No, I think I'd take it very serious. Do not laugh at her and her mission. I think it's going to be critically important. I think you're going to see that more and more and more than ever. All right, so anyway, people, I can't stress it enough. Watch that link. Do it for yourself. You don't have to do it for me. That's why I'm keeping this particular podcast short. You know what? I got stuff to do. God damn.